One mistake, one tiny oversight in the dead of night, and this massive floating city could explode into a catastrophic fireball in the middle of the ocean. This isn't just a ship. It is a complex industrial refinery that processes an entire oil field while drifting in some of the world's most hostile waters. Every component, from the smallest valve to the largest tank, must withstand extreme conditions to keep the production flowing safely through this dangerous offshore environment. This massive steel giant is known as an FPSO, a marvel of modern engineering that serves as the lifeblood of the global offshore energy industry today. Every second, thousands of barrels of raw crude oil flow through a labyrinth of pipes under extreme pressure, requiring absolute precision from the entire crew. The sheer volume of energy being moved is staggering, but the danger of managing such a volatile substance is a constant reality for everyone on board. To understand how this machine works, we must look below the surface, where the connection to the Earth's hidden treasures begins in the deep blue. It is a balance between extreme risk and incredible technological achievement, where any failure could lead to an environmental catastrophe that lasts for many decades. Beneath the surface, far from the sight of the crew, a hidden network of flexible risers connects this ship to the heart of the Earth. These flexible risers act as the umbilical cords of the ship, carrying hot, high-pressure crude oil from wells located thousands of meters below the seabed. The engineering required to keep these lines intact is mind-blowing, as they must endure the crushing pressure of the deep while staying perfectly flexible forever. During heavy storms, some of these lines are pushed to their absolute structural limits, enduring forces that would snap ordinary steel like a thin wooden twig. If even a single riser fails, the entire oil field must be shut down immediately to prevent a massive leak into the fragile marine ecosystem. At the very center of this operation is the turret system, a marvel that allows the ship to rotate freely without twisting the vital lifelines. This weather-vaning capability ensures that the ship always faces the wind and waves, minimizing the impact of the storm on the sensitive processing equipment above. Even with this technology, the load on the structure is constantly monitored, as the physical limits of materials are tested every single hour of operation. Each link in the mooring system is a critical point of failure, holding back thousands of tons of steel against the raw power of nature. The connection between the ship and the seabed is a delicate dance of physics and engineering, designed to survive the most extreme environments on Earth. Once the oil reaches the deck, the real danger begins as the processing phase starts, turning raw chemicals into valuable and stable energy products. The topside of an FPSO is a labyrinth of dangerous machinery designed to separate the raw mix coming from the depths into its core components. Crude oil doesn't arrive pure. It is a volatile mixture of oil, gas, water, and various impurities that must be handled with extreme care. Inside these massive horizontal separators, gravity and heat do the work, allowing the gas, oil, and water to settle into distinct, manageable layers. It must be processed and stabilized before it can be safely stored in the massive tanks below the deck, or the risks would be too high. Inside these high-pressure pipes, the energy is immense. A sudden spike in pressure can trigger a chain reaction that threatens the entire vessel's safety. When the pressure exceeds safe limits, the automated systems must respond in milliseconds to vent the excess energy and prevent a catastrophic explosion. Relief valves are the last line of defense, opening automatically to discharge pressure and preventing the steel pipes from tearing apart like paper. The excess gas is sent to the flare, where it is burned instantly, creating a beacon of fire that can be seen for miles across the sea. This controlled release is a critical safety protocol, turning a potential disaster into a managed event that keeps the crew and the ship alive. Every second here is a state of controlled chaos, where the machines and the humans must work in perfect harmony to stay out of danger. The processing deck never sleeps, continuously refining thousands of barrels every hour, or turning raw nature into the fuel that powers our modern world. Even the wastewater must be treated to the highest standards, ensuring that no harmful chemicals or oil residues are released back into the sea. From above, the FPSO looks like a peaceful city of light, but underneath that glow is a furnace of industrial activity and extreme physical pressure.
Initiated.
Behind these powerful machines are the people who keep the heart of the ship beating. monitoring every single fluctuation from the safety of the control room. Engineers work long 12-hour shifts, their eyes never leaving the screens as they scan for any sign of trouble in the massive system. A single wrong reading or a delayed response to a pressure spike could cost millions of dollars in damage. Or worse, take human lives. Life on board is a mix of extreme isolation and high-stakes responsibility, where the crew is the only defense against the unpredictable nature of the sea. For weeks or even months at a time, this floating steel giant becomes their entire world, separated from their families by hundreds of miles of water.
Captain. He'll double your
Community
shifts.
is vital here. In the middle of the ocean, your colleagues are your family, and trust is the foundation of every operation on board. Maintaining physical and mental health is a challenge when you are surrounded by steel and machines, but it is essential for staying sharp. Safety isn't just a rule here, it's a culture. Every person on this ship is trained to respond to fire, leaks, and medical emergencies instantly. The isolation is absolute. When you are on an FPSO, you are on an island of technology in a desert of salt and water. Every manual action taken by the crew is part of a larger symphony of energy production that never stops, regardless of the time or weather.
Speed.
But this isolation is about to change as the storage tanks reach their limit, and another giant vessel begins its dangerous approach for offloading. When the storage tanks below deck fill up, the operation enters its most dangerous phase: the ship-to-ship offloading of the processed crude oil. A massive tanker, often as large as the FPSO itself, must approach to within a few dozen meters while drifting in the open ocean. The two giants are connected by a single hawser line, a tether that must withstand the massive tension of two ships moving in different directions. One small mistake in navigation or a sudden rogue wave could cause a collision, leading to a disaster of epic and tragic proportions. The ships must maintain a precise distance using dynamic positioning systems to fight against the unpredictable forces of the wind and the current. Once the connection is secure, oil begins to flow at thousands of cubic meters per hour, transferring the wealth of the earth between the ships. Yet the tension in the lines is extreme. You can hear the steel groaning as the two massive vessels battle the relentless movement of the ocean. One mistake here, a broken line, or a ruptured hose, and the ocean pays a terrible price in the form of a massive oil spill. It is a high-stakes transfer that requires hours of absolute focus from both crews, ensuring that every drop of oil is safely moved and contained. The risk is constant, but the reward is the fuel that keeps our global economy moving, heating homes and powering transportation across the entire planet. As the tanker's hull sinks lower into the water, the FPSO rises, a physical demonstration of the massive energy transfer taking place right now. The sheer scale of this operation is hard to comprehend until you see it from above. Two industrial giants alone in the deep blue desert. Once the transfer is complete, the tanker departs for a refinery on land, leaving the FPSO to continue its lonely work in the dark. And the cycle begins again immediately. There is no rest for the machine or the crew, as the wells below continue to pump raw energy. Day and night, in the middle of fierce storms, and through the silence of calm nights, this floating factory never stops its vital mission. Modern FPSOs use advanced robotics and AI to predict failures before they happen, adding a layer of digital protection to the physical steel structure. This is the ultimate fusion of engineering and risk, a testament to human ingenuity in the face of the planet's most extreme conditions. And all of it, every barrel produced and every gallon stored, is balanced on the razor's edge of success and potential industrial failure. The FPSO stands as a monument to our need for energy, a complex machine that bridges the gap between the deep earth and the world. It is a world of its own, with its own rules, its own dangers, and a singular purpose that never wavers for a single moment. As we look to the future, and these ships will only become more advanced, pushing further into deeper waters and more challenging environments than ever. The story of the FPSO is the story of human ambition, the drive to reach the unreachable and harness the power of the natural world. Processing oil, powering cities, and fueling the world, this giant of the sea continues its tireless work, far from the sight of land. Maintenance is constant, a never-ending battle against the corrosive power of salt and the constant vibration of the ship's powerful internal machinery. Despite the danger and the isolation, there is a beauty in this mechanical titan, a harmony of form and function in the wilderness. Understanding how an FPSO processes oil is understanding the very foundation of modern life and the lengths we go to sustain it. It is a frontier of technology, where every day is a test of character and every night is a challenge to stay safe and operational. As we conclude our journey through this floating city, remember the engineers and the sailors who make this incredible feat of energy possible. The future of offshore energy is built on the lessons learned here, on the deck of the FPSO, amidst the waves and the wind. This is only one of the most dangerous and complex machines ever built by human hands to conquer the secrets of the deep ocean. Subscribe if you want to see what happens next in our exploration of the world's most incredible and high-risk engineering marvels on Earth. The FPSO continues its journey, a silent guardian of energy, floating on the edge of the world, processing the power of the future to